In this video, I'll be looking at QuickBooks Online Certification Exam Section 3, Special Client Onboarding Tasks. In Section 3, we look at a more detailed look at the process of bringing on new clients, setting up the steps for payroll, payments, and tax information. We're looking at customizing forms and invoices to reflect your customer's brand recognition, and various user types and their permission rights. So setting up payroll. What are the two payroll options available in QBO? There's QBO full service payroll and QBO self-service payroll. They're pretty self-explanatory. Under QBO's full service payroll, there are 3 subscription levels: Core, Premium, and Elite. Under Elite, Intuit offers their penalty-free guarantee. Setting up payments. How do you set up QuickBooks Online payments? And now we're talking about the no monthly fee with a higher rate per transaction compared to the merchant bank's account, where that would be a higher monthly fee, but a lower per transaction rate. To do that, you would go to your gear icon, Accounts and Settings, Payments, and then you click Learn More. I have a video here, and you can always ask for my PowerPoint so you can look at the video, but I will show you how to access that through my QuickBooks Online. So I'm going to go to my gear icon, and then Accounts and Settings would be here for your account, for a business account. And then you'd go to the Payments tab. Over here is where you'd be able to connect to your GoPayment or merchant service if you already have a payment account with Intuit, or you would click on here to learn more to start the process of setting up your payments. Note, for new account users, you would set it up in the setup wizard. That pops up when you first get started, and it steps you through the process of getting started. And it would ask you for that same information you would have to input when you go to the Learn More. That would be your company info, your owner info, and then your banking details. What does Intuit recommend about the payment process? 1, it recommends that the master administrator of the QuickBooks company do the complete setup. Now, remember, that doesn't mean that it's the accountant. That could be the owner or the manager. And the pro advisor accountant just come in and have like full access, or could also be an admin, but not be the one that set up the payment. It's just recommended that the master administrator is the person who sets up the complete payment process. The other thing they suggest that you should connect any existing QuickBooks payments like that GoPayment and Intuit merchant service account. Remember, I had showed you where you can connect. So if you do have an Intuit merchant service account already or a GoPayment, then you would be able to bring that into your new QuickBooks Online company. Where do you go to see a client's previous tax payments from the last quarter? You would go to Tax Center and then History link. What information is needed to set up sales tax in QuickBooks Online for a client who only does business in their own home state? You would need their company address, where their last tax period started, how often they have to file a tax return, and when they started collecting sales tax for that agency. Brand recognition. There might be a few questions on there, so I have some here for you. What features should a bookkeeper suggest to his or her client to build their brand recognition? 1, be creative with your fonts. Use a font type that matches your company branding scheme. 2, add a company logo to customer sales forms and invoices. And 3, also add color that matches the company's branding scheme. I did a seminar last year, and one of the things that was stressed was it's unlikely someone would trust a company that doesn't have a logo there and just has like a blank picture. So you want to make sure you put something professional to represent your company or the company that you're setting up for someone else. Where do you go to add some personal branding to an invoice template? You would select the gear icon and then custom form styles. Where would you go to add a logo to an invoice? You'd go to the gear icon, select custom form styles, select new style, invoice, and then add logo. Adding extra lists. This question has been put on the exam in different forms. So I try to put as many of the forms I can in this one question. So hopefully, but they all have the same answer. So hopefully, if you get this question, you'll kind of get the gist of which one yours falls under. So a great feature of QuickBooks Online is that there are other lists you can utilize to make it easier to fill in forms. Where would you go to find these extra lists? So anything that has extra lists in it, you're going to gear icon and then all lists. Hope it wasn't sounding confusing. It's just that I've seen this question in 3 or 4 different forms. And this is the page that comes up when you go to Gear Icon and All Lists on the left-hand side of the screen. User roles in QuickBooks Online. So there's going to be quite a few, and I end on these last 3 slides are on user roles. I recommend, as you see on the top here, to watch the training video, the one that I've been pushing in the Pro Advisor tab and in the training session, where you have the self-paced videos. They go over team user roles. There'll be, I would say, 3 to maybe even 4 questions on your exam on this topic. So make sure you've taken good notes and you write these questions down that I have here for you. So which 2 team user roles have permission to view and search for apps using the Apps tab in the QuickBooks Online Accountant? The answer would be Firm Master Admin and Full Access Team User. And I have the visualization right there for their features available. You set up a new employee with standard user access, but you uncheck the payroll access box. Which part of the QuickBooks Online will the new employee not have access to? The answer would be Employee tab. What would a client select in their Manage User screen to give their workers access to create invoices but not write checks in their QBO company? You would select Standard User, then Limited, then you would select the Customer box. And here's my last question. Where can a master admin account user view the apps connected to a client's QuickBooks Online account from within their QBOA account? So on the left-hand side, you have the Apps tab. So on the left-hand navigation bar, you would select Apps. And then on the top, there would be 3 different tabs you can choose from. You can't really see it in the picture. That's why I rewrote them here. So there's Find Apps, Client Apps, and Apps for your firm. So obviously, if you were looking for your client's apps, you would go to the left-hand navigation bar, select Apps, and then select Client Apps. Find Apps is when you're searching for them, and Apps for your firm would be for your bookkeeping company. So those are the questions that I came up with in this section 3. Please add any that you come across. I've had quite a few students come to me and tell me they struggled in this section. So I really encourage you to have some good notes when you take this section, okay? Let me know how you do.